Hey friends, Elizabeth here from Plant-Based Bride, and I'm back again with another video. Today I'm setting up my bullet journal for July 2019 with a peach theme, and I must say I'm feeling pretty peachy keen about this one. This video is kindly sponsored by Four Sigmatic. Use the link in my description for 15% off your first purchase. I'll talk more about them at the end of the video, but for now, let's get right into the cover page. So I'm starting off with the header here. I realized later in the video that it's a little bit easier to start with the outline of the words and then to fill them in later, but you live and you learn. On the first page, I started with my Tombow brush pen. As per always, all of the supplies will be linked in the description box, so check it out if you want to see exactly what I'm using during this setup. So I'm starting off by drawing a bunch of peaches, different types of peaches, different sizes, different shapes. Some of them have been sliced and some are whole, and I just wanted to create kind of a fun, asymmetrical, sort of whimsical pattern on the cover page. I will say the biggest struggle in filming this video was having 4 perfectly ripe peaches sitting on the table the entire time. I cannot tell you how tempted I was to just eat one, but I wanted there to be consistency throughout the video and not suddenly go down to 3 peaches. But oh my goodness, y'all, the smell kept wafting towards me and it was so hard to resist. Luckily, I had my Four Sigmatic coffee to sip on throughout and it's absolutely delicious, so that definitely helped to satiate me, but it was very difficult for me throughout. Right now, I'm drinking the Four Sigmatic Lion's Mane and Chaga coffee. I would highly recommend you try this one out if you've never tried anything from them. It's got a lovely fruity medium flavor and half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee. It also has the benefits of the mushrooms, which for this blend is focus, which is amazing for me when I'm setting up a brand new month in my bullet journal. Now I'm adding color using my Tombow brush pens and my Tombow blender palette to mix some of these colors together. I'm just grabbing a couple different shades of yellow and peach, orange, and blending them together to try to get a realistic look of a peach. And one thing that I'm really liking about my Scribbles That Matter notebook so far is that the paper seems to have sort of a coating of some type, which seems to make the pens and other media sit on top of the paper for longer, so it doesn't get soaked up as quickly, it doesn't dry as quickly on the page, at least not as quickly as what I've been used to in other notebooks. This is kind of a problem for me with pen because it means the ink sort of sits on top for longer and I'm much more likely to smudge the pen, which is already something I struggle with, but it's actually a really great plus for using Tombows. Because the pigment doesn't get soaked up so quickly, it's actually way easier to blend the colors together on the page, which normally I find to be almost impossible in most notebooks. I usually find that it just dries too fast, and when I try to blend them together, it just kind of seeps through the paper or starts to make the paper pill. But on this paper, for whatever reason, whatever kind of coating they have on there, they blend together really nicely. Now that I've finished my cover page, I'm moving on to my quote page, and because the cover page took me a little while to set up, I finished my first cup of coffee. So I popped to the kitchen and boiled some water so I could quickly make myself a mushroom mocha. This one is absolutely delicious. I could absolutely live off of this chocolatey chaga goodness. I'll be showing you how to make these 2 drinks at the end of the video. It's super simple, and I'll tell you a little bit more about them as well, so hang out till then if you want to know more. So for the quote page this month, I wanted to use this Dita Von Teese quote. It just felt absolutely perfect for this peach theme. So the quote is, "You can be the ripest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's still going to be somebody who hates peaches. And ain't that the truth?" I feel like this really ties in well to some of the stuff I've been talking about lately on my channel, especially the second episode of BuJo Babble, where I talked about imposter syndrome in the bullet journaling community. It can be really good to remember that you could be the ripest, juiciest peach in the entire world. You could be the most amazing peach, and there is still going to be probably a significant portion of the population who just don't like peaches. There are going to be people who don't like you, there are going to be people who don't like your work, and it's not necessarily a reflection on you at all. We cannot be everything for everyone. So I really like this quote. I thought it fit perfectly into this theme. And as always, I try to pick a quote that either will put a smile on my face or is something that I need to be reminded of. And I feel like this message is something I need to be reading a little more frequently so I can get it into my brain. For my monthly, I wanted to create sort of a variation of the same pattern from the cover page as more of a border. So what I did is I drew a border using my ruler and a pencil. And so as I drew peaches around the outside of the page, I made sure to stop at that border. And in the end, I erased that pencil mark, and I just feel like it gives a really nice effect. You have a perfect clean rectangle all the way around, but it's not actually indicated with anything except for a lack of peaches. I did the same sort of header as I did on the cover page as well, and then I made my monthly relatively small this time around, just enough space to write any events that are happening on specific days. I find now that I'm working from home, I'm using my monthly a little bit less than I was when I was still working outside of the house. I still need one, I still use one, but I really don't need quite as much space, but I need more space in my weekly, so I've adjusted accordingly. And again, I feel like a broken record, but this is really the power of bullet journaling as a system. You can shift and adjust things as you go to fit your life as your life shifts and adjusts. And that's kind of an amazing thing. So now I'm moving on to my trackers. So I wanted to have one page of kind of miscellaneous trackers and then a mood tracker spread. So for my sort of miscellaneous trackers on the left side of the page, I'm tracking coffee intake, stretching, visualization, and my sleep quality. And these 4 trackers are my standard favorite layout for a tracker, which is just a simple graph, adding dots all the way down and then connecting those dots to get a line graph. For my mood tracker, I wanted to do something a little fun this month, so I decided to create a big peach to track my moods and to split it up into 31 slices. So I'm going to fill in each slice with a color corresponding to my mood throughout the month, and I'll end up with a peach that represents my moods. I also got a little carried away and decided to name my moods according to sort of peach-related things. So we have rotten for if I'm feeling really bad that day, in the pits for not feeling too great, just peachy for like, I'm okay, I'm good, fine, peachy keen for feeling good, and then sweet as a peach for like the best day ever, just feeling awesome. And for the moods, I assigned different colors, going from a dark, almost corally orange to a peach to a dark yellow, a lighter yellow, and then a pink. The last spread I need to set up for this monthly is the first week, and as I have been for the last couple months, I'm sticking with my faux Dutch door style of rolling weekly. As y'all know who have been here for a while, I always use a rolling weekly. It is my go-to weekly. It is the only weekly I've used for years now, and it's my holy grail. It's my favorite. I've made a whole video on it. As always, I will link it so you can check it out if you need to know how this weekly works. But as I believe I've mentioned in one of my recent Plan With Me's, I've kind of permanently moved over to this faux Dutch door version of the weekly, which just gives me a lot more space for each day of the week. So this way I get half a page for every single day instead of my traditional setup, which you'll see in the dedicated video if you check that out, where I get about 1/7 of the page for each day of the week because I keep them on one page and then I have the tasks on the next page. So this layout just gives me more room daily, which is really good for working at home. That way I can implement time blocking and have more room for my tasks and anything that comes up during the day. If you want to see more about how I actually use the dailies and the weekly in general for productivity, check out my video from last week. It was 10 ways to maximize the productivity of your bullet journal, and I show you exactly how I'm using my weeklies right now to get the most out of them and to have the most productive days I possibly can. So that is it for the setup. I'm going to flip one more time through the spreads so you can see the whole peach theme. I love this one. This one just makes me feel really happy and excited for summer, especially because now that I'm done the video, I can eat the peaches. And let me tell you, they were delicious. Before I go, I want to talk to you a little bit more about Four Sigmatic. Four Sigmatic believes that your life quality can be vastly improved by some simple dietary tweaks, and they think mushrooms can be the way to do it. Four Sigmatic's drinks are organic, Whole30 approved, paleo, vegan, and gluten-free, so they can fit into pretty much any dietary restrictions or needs. They asked me to share with you my 2 favorite drinks that I've had from them, and I have to say, this first one I'm making here, the lion's mane and chaga mushroom coffee, is just my absolute favorite. It is so delicious. It has a fruity, sort of medium brew coffee flavor. It has half the caffeine of a regular cup of coffee, so it's great if you're trying to cut back a little bit on caffeine, but you still want a little bit of that kick. The chaga helps to cut acidity, so if you tend to get an upset stomach from the acidity from coffee, I would definitely recommend checking out Four Sigmatic. Lion's mane is amazing for your brain, and that's one of the reasons why this is my favorite, along with the flavor. Lion's mane has been used by Buddhist monks to help with focus during meditation, and it's great to help you focus and get creative, which is really what I need on any given work day. It does contain coffee. It's made with 100% organic Arabica coffee beans and tastes just like coffee. I promise it doesn't taste like mushrooms at all. And one of the best things about these coffees is that they're so easy to make. All you need to do is pour out the packet in your cup, add hot water, and you're good to go. Now I want to talk about my other favorite from Four Sigmatic, which is their mushroom mocha mix. This is so delicious. If you are a hot chocolate fan, if you are a mocha fan, you need to try this. What I love about this is that it isn't too rich, it isn't too decadent and overwhelming, but you definitely taste the coffee and the chocolate, and it's just so perfectly balanced. The mushroom mocha is also made with 100% fair trade organic Arabica coffee, along with the chaga to help to cut any of that acidity. And of course, there's the chocolate in there and a little bit of sweetness. This is the perfect drink to have in the afternoon for a little bit of a pick-me-up. Just that tiny bit of caffeine, that little bit of chocolate to get you going when you're kind of hitting a slump. So I would definitely recommend the lion's mane and chaga mushroom coffee and the mushroom mocha mix. If you've never tried anything from Four Sigmatic, I've tried so many of their products at this point, and these 2 are my absolute favorite. I have been drinking them for literally years. If you want to give them a try, use the link in my description box to get 15% off your purchase. Thank you so much to Four Sigmatic for sponsoring this video and for making delicious products that are as good for you as they are tasty. Thank you, as always, to my patrons for your support. I am so grateful for you. If you're interested in joining the Plant-Based Bride Patrons Squad, we would love to have you. Check out the link in the description box to learn more. And a special big thank you to our 2 newest patrons, Katrina and Nani. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We recently reached 30,000 subscribers on this channel, which is honestly incredibly overwhelming for me. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. I feel like I've had the chance to connect to so many of you recently and really learn how lovely all of you humans are, and I just couldn't be more grateful for you being here with me in my little corner of the internet. So thank you so much, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye, friends.